My man. All gas, no brakes.
AB, all cops are bastards! AB, all cops are bastards! AB, all cops are bastards! AB, all cops are bastards!
What's going on, man?
You know, just hanging out, feeling pretty hyped up, you know.
Why are you doing this?
I have nothing better to do. No, Black Lives Matter, dude. Fuck Trump. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. Essentially. Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
Fuck Ted Wheeler! All cops are bastards!
I know for a fact that people are like, oh my God, look at all these fucking white people. Look at all these white people say Black Lives Matter. By the way, Portland is like 98% white. Okay? Literally a white supremacist state. Oregon is a white supremacist state built for white supremacy. I'm just letting you know, if you're unaware of that fact, you're of course going to look at this and go, wow, so many fucking white people protesting Black Lives Matter. It's like, yeah, I know. Because it's a fucking white ass state, literally made with the express purpose of doing white supremacy. And that's why it's so fucking white. Okay? Literally an ethno state.
This is my city, not theirs. This is Portland.
Trying to get the feds out of Portland, Oregon.
How come?
Because they're fucking bitches and we don't want them here.
They fucking rule us, they protect tyrants and oligarchs. We're just fucking slaves.
I believe black liberation will lead to everybody's liberation, and I hate the fucking feds and the police.
We appreciate black lives and we want them to flourish.
Abolish police, abolish prisons.
We can't give peace if y'all ain't giving it to us, so we gonna take it.
Take it. That's period. Most of my family done died because of the police. I'm not taking it no more.
The federal agents have been deployed to Portland and have been snatching people up, taking them into vans, dropping them off in various locations. Our main demand has been to defund the police. Most of the calls that they get are mental distress, and they're sending people that are trained to shoot first. We need people that are mental health experts.
What we have to do is slowly start treating the roots of the problems, things that actually cause crime, like education, wealth redistribution.
It's fucking insane how decked out Portland protesters are, because this is like a weekend activity for them, literally nonstop. Oregon, because of its white supremacist roots, is a place where Portland is very woke. Eugene is pretty woke too, but the rest of the fucking state is full of literal Klansmen and white supremacists that love to demonstrate in downtown Portland every goddamn week. And the Portland Police Department, for those of you who do not fucking know, is notoriously awful and has coordinated with those white supremacists in the past and still do to this day. Ted Wheeler is both the mayor and the police chief, which is another little known fact about fucking Portland. Whenever people talk about Ted Wheeler, they're like, look at how brave that lib mayor is, or that lib mayor got tear gassed, like blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that motherfucker is very much responsible for the brutality that the Portland protesters have received, because his police force that he is the police commissioner of has been beating the fuck out of the protesters for 45 days before the feds came in. Okay? Just some fun facts about Portland. And the reason why they're all so decked out in fucking gas masks and shit is because they're like professional protesters at this point. All right, anyway, let's keep going.
Oh, that's just a firework. Yo, Portland, we getting lit. It's already cool.
We want PPP defunded by 30% at least. True. And we want all the money to come back to our community.
I'd like to see the police cut by 75%, eventually working to 100.
You should read Ruth Wilson Gilmore. You should read Angela Davis. Abolition is present. Fireworks. It is not absent.
Shit, man, we out here protesting because this shit got me fucked up. We out here doing our thing. Oh, God.
We out here for Black Lives Matter. You don't stand for this shit. Take your punk asses home. Fuck the feds.
The feds just started coming out of the federal building. Then they just started fucking everyone else up.
It's retaliation o'clock. They're terrorists. Woohoo! It's check your watch. It's retaliation o'clock.
Antifa!
Dude, if your dad's a cop, like fucking punch him in the face. At least 50 times.
You never met like a sick ass cop
skateboarder type tagger cop.
Never met a sick-ass cop. Every single person I know has been tear gassed. My mom got tear gassed. Fuck them. Abolish them.
I don't think anything stresses people out more than their pockets getting touched.
You're gonna pocket check the feds?
If I can.
Do you want your face blurred in this interview?
No, I'm good.
How come?
So I'm gonna fuck.
They think they fighting for their country?
That is unironically brave, by the way, especially considering that the DHS is now very openly considering all of these people agitators and terrorists and actually arresting them. And listen, I know that some of this shit sounds hella LARPy, and it's easy to just be like, oh, fuck these people. But what you're failing to recognize is that a lot of these fed up people in Portland are teachers, nurses, everyday delivery drivers, just like everyday fucking workers, just like you are. Okay? Probably even more workers than most of the people on Twitch. So I know if XQC's chat is just like wilding out or being real fucking edgy when they're watching this video and talking about how like, lol, these guys, lol, LARPer this, LARPer that. A lot of those fucking LARPers are union workers, for example. Something that, unfortunately, Republicans have been able to very successfully destroy. This notion that like every worker is just an Appalachian fucking coal miner. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. Workers are our age, they're black, they're brown, they're from every fucking background imaginable, they're disabled, they're trans, they're gay. That's the American working class. It's very diverse. So just because they sound like a bunch of fucking soy boys doesn't change that reality. Also, let me add to that a little bit more. These people are fucking out there getting their ass cheeks clapped by federal agents every fucking night. So they are infinitely more brave than every single person in a Twitch chat that would turn around and be like, oh, fuck these guys, they're LARPers. I'm just going to point that out. It's pretty well accepted that Rose City Justice works with the police, so that's why he did not blur.
I'm fighting for my country too. Fuck 12, eat my goddamn ass, and suck these nuts. If we're really gonna get into the Constitution.
This is federal government encroaching upon our First Amendment rights and our liberty.
They really don't care. Last night the mayor of Portland was here and they still gassed.
How does that meet de-escalation?
It's clearly a precursor to just an authoritarian regime. Being out here, I would say it's patriotism at its finest.
They need to know what the fuck the right side of history is. Fuck a fascist state.
Yeah, I got my Antifa terrorist card in my back pocket. You know how it is.
They escalate the violence every single night. Rest in peace, Quanice Hayes. Rest in peace, Jason Washington. Here for Black Lives.
We're not taking this shit no more. This is Portland. What you mean?
We fucking outnumber them in leaf blowers and fucking people.
I think their garbage humans that probably got beaten up and stuck in a locker when they were children. This is the cream of the crop as far as like a sociopathic thug that will take a paycheck by putting children in cages.
Do you want them to leave?
Yeah, let's them to get the fuck out of my town, yes.
Are you guys allowed to talk to us?
I appreciate that your lighting guy isn't shining it right in my face.
Hey, pussy, quit your job. You gonna quit when you get off your shift, pussy? Look at him. He's so sad and tired. What happened?
I'm glad it's not right in my eyes.
I think they're about to gas us.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Catherine, it's my mom. I don't know what it was. It was worse than pepper balls.
What do you feel like?
Like fucking hell, dude, this sucks.
I'm in a frat and I got tear gassed. We're in a frat, we got tear gassed.
Kappa Sigma, baby.
We're fucking out here for...
Yo, that was awesome. That's so funny, dude. Even the fucking frat bros are out, dude. Oh my god, dude. Kappa Sigma. Oh my god. I'm in a frat and I've been tear gassed. You were in a frat too? Why are you giggling? That's why I'm giggling, dude.
We got tear gassed.
Kappa Sigma, baby.
We're fucking out here for Black Lives Matter and to protest fucking police brutality, and obviously they're coming out strong with some fucking brutality. Like, this is a peaceful protest. I'm standing...
Wait, I wonder... Wait, was that Connor?
Strong with some fucking brutality. Like, this is a peaceful...
Oh, no, never mind.
Protest. I'm standing in a cloud of tear gas. Fuck you. Sorry.
Armed mobs of Joe Biden voters torched buildings, smashed cars, attacked police officers.
Joe Biden voters. Imagine thinking most of those guys are gonna vote. I mean, come on, dude. Joe Biden voters. I love it. Connor O'Malley. Yeah, it wasn't. Amy Goodman,
federal
my queen.
officers continue their nightly attacks on anti-racist protesters Monday, waging a campaign of violence against largely peaceful demonstrations in Oregon.
They were surrounded and apparently assaulted by 150 Joe Biden voters dressed in black paramilitary gear. They hurt people, a lot of people.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stoked are you guys about presidential candidate Joe Biden?
0. Absolutely fucking 0.
He has an affinity for fucking children.
So do you guys plan to vote for Trump instead?
I'm gonna vote for anarchy.
So I've heard the right-wing media talk about how everyone down here is anarchists, and then I've heard the left-wing media talk about how everyone down here is simply peacefully protesting, and I think there's a mix of both. Fuck. The full story is that there's protesters mixed in with people trying to create violence. I've been here for the last...
I'm sorry, but this is the perfect. It's like if you want to know what anarchists believe.
0.
He has an affinity for fucking children.
If you want to know what anarchists believe, this is here.
So do you guys plan to vote for Trump instead?
I'm gonna vote for anarchy.
This is so good. I'm gonna vote for anarchy.
So I've heard the right-wing media talk about how everyone down here is anarchists, and then I've heard the left-wing media talk about how everyone down here is simply peacefully protesting, and I think there's a mix of both. Fuck. The full story is that there's protesters mixed in with people trying to create violence. I've been here for the last 5 nights. This is going to go on all night, back and forth. The president of the NAACP in Portland says that the focus is getting off of Black lives. The focus is going on the federal government, on just this back and forth battle of violence, and I don't think the feds are going to back down. I think the feds are going to continue to escalate
Well, that guy was wrong.
Violence, and that means the protesters are going to continue to escalate the violence, and I don't think that's going to solve any issues. And the thing that Black Lives Matter is supposed to do is get people together to solve issues.
If you're white, you don't get to decide when you want to break shit. You don't get to decide when it's time to protest, when it's time to march, or when it's time to do whatever. You don't know what that feels like. You don't know what it feels like to watch George Floyd die. So if you're a white anarchist, shut the fuck up. Listen to the black people and what they want to do. If it's time for them to set shit on fire, the black people, then you listen to them and you support them. And you make sure they're okay. You don't go and do it with them. It is not your job. You should not walk out with a Louis Vuitton bag.
This is not a joke. And the only reason you think it's a joke is because you're white and you don't have the same fear I have.
We only came here to get naked.
He got naked, he got butt ass naked. He probably saw his dick on fucking live television.
Our objective is to bring all of us together. Black lives,
and bring
Indian,
Black lives to the front, the
South
forefront.
American.
Everybody has indigenous ancestors. You know, the Vikings are my indigenous ancestors. And those guys were straight anti-fascists. Anyone tried to colonize them, they got fucked up. I mean, they were anarcho-primitivists, right? So they ran their...
Yeah, I love this so much. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god, how does he fucking find these people, dude? Oh. Oh my God. This is like the Irish built the Underground Railroad. We were the real slaves again. Like, this is just...
Societies like this right here. This is all people out here rewilding themselves. The world's constantly trying to rewild. And of course, the colonizer paradigm is going to do exactly what it does to a field. Constantly trying to this right here. This is all people out here rewilding themselves.
I'm gonna die. This is a joke. This is performance art. There's no way. He literally did the anarcho-primitivism meme. Like, he did the Emperor meme. He pulled a piece of the fucking leaf. He's eating a leaf, dude. My man said, return the monkey. And then followed through with it. Oh, this is so good. Oh.
Trying to rewild. And of course, the colonizer paradigm is going to do exactly what it does to a field when it's trying to rewild. It's going to hit it as hard as it can. It's going to use its gas. And guess what? We are stronger than that fucking gas. I played the trumpet in that fucking gas. You know what I mean? All this is nuts. We gotta just burn it to the ground, build a new world out of the ashes. So drop your fucking badge. You wanna put your hands on me? Let's do it right here, toe-to-toe, motherfucker. Not with all your fucking thug buddies around it. That's what I say to the fucking feds.
Yeah, everyone hates the government, but if it's not about black lives, you shouldn't be down here and you shouldn't be with this fight, because we're not fighting just with the cops. We're fighting for black liberation, for black people to live, for black people to have education. That's what this is about.
Fuck conservatives, fuck liberals, fuck Democrats, fuck Republicans. You have to vote for the people who aren't fucking influenced by AIPAC money, Jewish money, all that fucking shit, dude.
You can't fix someone else until you fix the shit inside you, so it's...
There's no way to save this country, dude. It's just like... It's a wrap, dude.
It's like, you need to actually do the work. It's like, do not come down here drunk.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You're like 100% a piece of shit. Is this how big your dick is? Is this how big your dick is? He wants to shoot me so bad.
But it's not just about abolishing police because they came and like shut down your party or something. It's about abolishing police because they're killing us.
They love to repost about white fragility, but then they're not actually looking at the white fragility they have in themselves.
Where my grandma used to live was like the most gentrified area in Portland. It was on 16th and Alberta. She had a house and they moved it out and now it's an art gallery. And now they have signs on the wall.
Wait, how the fuck did her grandma own a house in Portland? I don't even mean that as a joke. I mean, like, it was literally illegal. That's how fucking racist that state is. It was literally illegal for black people to own homes. Oregon was so racist that they were like, we can't have slaves. Why? Because that means black people will be in the state. Do you understand?
Father, the devil.
Like, that's next level racism, dude. That's like the American government saying, we can't invade Mexico because that would mean that we would have to share territory with Mexicans. Like, too many brown folks and too many indigenous people. Like, that's literally like America leaving Mexico alone because they were too racist to invade Mexico. Same shit with Oregon, where it's, by the way, both of those things that I just mentioned are literally true. America refusing to invade the entirety of Mexico, which we found out from that fucking Vox video, and also Oregon saying no to slavery because they were like, that would mean that black people would live around us, and we don't want that. It was illegal for black people in the state of Oregon to exist in the state for longer than 3 years, I believe. And if they stayed in the state for longer than 3 years, they would have to endure 36 lashes every month. Oregon's black exclusion laws were only abolished in 1926. It's fucking insane. That's why it's super white.
The system. I can now remove the tinfoil hat.
Hasan, you were in Theta Delta Chi fraternity
like,
at Rutgers,
we support
right?
George Floyd.
I think we went to a few Rush events together back in the day. Hope all is well, dude. Good to find your channel. Really enjoying the content.
Thanks, brother.
For George Floyd. And it's like, where was that justice for my grandma, like that black woman that you pushed out of her home?
It's kind of sad to see the neighborhood that I grew up in be unrecognizable. And
It's like, we support George Floyd, like justice for George Floyd. And it's like, where was that justice for my grandma, like that black woman that you pushed out of her home?
It's kind of sad to see the neighborhood that I grew up in be unrecognizable and to kind of feel like a ghost in a home of your own.
And we hate to say it, but we do need white people because they are the ones who are in positions of power.
Money, petitions, getting into your city council, voting.
The upcoming election is very important. I think everybody needs to vote.
Pretty good video. Whites in the chat mad because they are right though. Pepela. I mean, you're probably white too. Let's be real. There's like two different kinds of white people in this circumstance. You have the white people who are fucking shit up because they hate cops. Some of them have very good reason to hate cops. You have the white people that are upset with the black people saying what they're saying because they feel like they get oppressed by the police as well. Okay? And then you have the white people making fun of other white people like, lol, like the black people are right in this circumstance. While low-key, you're not even doing shit. I have the top comment on this video, Pog. Content nuclear winter. Is this guy just milking the Pokemon shit? I can't be the only black person in here. No, there's plenty of black people in here. What would Afghans be considered white? You also have planted instigators in these too. So, in my opinion, part of what the girls are saying, actually, what the girls are saying is correct. But what the girls are saying is correct about gentrification. What the girls are saying is correct about misguided anger against the police or misguided anger that's being redirected at the police for or muddying the waters of the actual protest itself. I think that remains, I think that part is true. But also it's completely reasonable to have white people. It's correct, but it goes against your agenda. Yeah, my secret agenda. Dude, I have so many agendas, Sanime. I mean, I guess everything's an agenda if you are a literal QAnon supporter and only in this chat, only allowed to exist in this chat because your takes are so fucking outrageous that I love reading them. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the Jake Paul raid. Anyway, where were we? Have you ever wondered that you effing is just Spectrum employees pausing your internet to react to your stream? My man went from furry conventions to guerrilla journalism. I mean, yeah, he's awesome. So, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, what the girls are saying is correct. But ultimately, I think it's understandable that in a 90% fucking white state like Oregon, the white people of Portland hate the cops and are protesting against the cops. And I always get frustrated with people who are saying, who speak out against solidarity and say that this is exclusively a black movement. Feel me? Or it's exclusively a black cause.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
1 year of getting Dono walled feels good, man.
White people should be excluded if they are in there, not for BLM. I mean, how the fuck do you know what they're there for,
The
though?
spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
Could you go to 738 on the vid? I just want to hear your opinion on that part. Is it that the naked part? Is that the naked people running around? Or no, it's not.
If you're white, you don't get to decide when you want to break shit. You don't get to decide when it's time to protest, when it's time to march, or when it's time to do whatever. You don't know what that feels like. You don't know what it feels like to watch George Floyd die.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. Like if you're white, you don't get to decide when a protest is. Like, yeah, I think that's silly. I'm sorry. If it's about Black Lives Matter, it's not. It's understandable. But as far as like protests against police brutality, it's, I don't know.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
No, that's racism as well. No, what the fuck? It's not racism, dude. What the fuck? Like, stop with this like reverse racism shit, okay? Yeah, she's being exclusionary to white people because the concept that she's talking about is specifically black people being disproportionately targeted by the police and systemic racism and its impact on black people. So when she's talking about that, of course she's going to exclude black people from white people to talk about black oppression. Considering that to be racist is like literally a fucking one-head baby brain take. That was XQC's take? What do you mean? What was XQC's take? Still kind of self-defeating. I think there's a lot of people out there in protests. I mean, I said this in the beginning of the George Floyd protests, right? So when protests during the inception of the George Floyd protests that turned into riots, when they started becoming more violent, or when they started becoming riots, I guess, a lot of people were like, why are they doing this? And immediately, one of the first narratives that came out was white outside agitators, white anti-fascist agitators, white anarchists, riot tourists. Now, are there actually fucking riot tourists out there? Certainly. Are there people out there that just want to fuck shit up because they're angry? Certainly. But you can't parse through that. You don't know who the fuck is there for what. I happen to think that a lot of these people that are there because they don't like police brutality and they hate that the police is an oppressive force in their neighborhoods. The police does technically, literally oppress those people and defend fascists when racist fascist pieces of shit come into their fucking town and march through their town and say, fuck you guys. This is our shit. This is our town. Portland is ours. Ultimately, you can't control it. But at the same time, you want to be able to express your frustration with people that are there to supposedly express solidarity that go above and beyond and do things that put black people in the way of further harm. But this notion that like this is exclusively a black people's protest and it's only for black people and like only black people have a say is especially silly because Portland is fucking like 98% white, dude. That's such a silly way to just fucking shit on solidarity. Having said that, though, I think that especially when it comes to Black Lives Matter, listening to black people is key. But beyond that,
I love the system. I can now remove the
But beyond that, like,
Nothing
not
is gonna
fucking
change
shit
if
up
white
for your
people don't
own
get
personal
involved in this.
benefit because you're
This is a
interested
black
in
protest, etc.
because
is
you're
not the
interested
plan
in
to
like
get actual
blowing
change.
shit up or fucking
Just
shit
gonna
up
run into a brick wall
specifically
like
for the purpose of expressing your frustration is dumb, and it puts not only the black people there in harm's way, but also everyone else, and including yourself, in harm's way. So if someone wants to criticize that, that's completely reasonable, especially because they're there and they're literally fucking activists. Sounds to me like she's saying white people can't be empathetic, pretty racist take. No, sounds to me like you're fucking fragile.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
How do you reel in people that have these kinds of opinions? You talk to them. There's people in my audience that have these exact same fucking kinds of opinions. Some of them are white. A lot of them are black. They feel exactly this way. But ultimately, nothing gets done if there is no fucking class solidarity. Reverse the roles and you'd be outraged? Wait, you mean to tell me that if white people were saying black people can't protest with us, I'd be mad? Yeah, of course. Because when white people are exclusionary, that's usually from a white supremacist point of view. When black people are being exclusionary in this circumstance, they're still wrong to a certain degree, but they're not doing it out of a black supremacist point of view. Jesus Christ, dude. It's not, ironically, black and white as it seems. An entire race of people with a starting point that is way fucking beneath you, specifically as a consequence of historic reasons like slavery and segregation that spans across generations, is going to change the dynamic a little bit, I think. Unless you legitimately think right now, in this day, every single black person literally has the exact same opportunities as every single white person, then of course there are going to be a different set of expectations or a different kind of way of having this conversation when black people say something and white people do. Best example of this is the N-word. In the context of responding to this girl like you did, would your take be considered something along the lines of class reductionism? Listen, man. I've been talking about Black Lives Matter and immigrant issues that exclusively pertain to black and brown people for longer than these fucking dumbasses even decided that they were on the left, okay? I've been getting fucking death threats and doxxed for years before these motherfuckers decided not to say the N-word on the internet. If they want to call me a word that they just learned yesterday called class reductionism, they can. I don't give a fuck. Most people know where I'm coming from. Most people know what my fucking political opinions are a lot clearer than they know some other dipshit who decided to change their political ideology over the course of like 3 months. Okay?
You don't want to kill Mexican babies? You're a racist!
If you are white male and your last name is Paul, don't join BLM protests.
So if you're a white anarchist, shut the fuck up. Listen to the black people and what they want to do. If it's time for them to set shit on fire, the black people, then you listen to them and you support them. You make sure they're okay. You don't go and do it with them. It is not your job. You should not walk out with a Louis Vuitton bag.
This is not a joke. And the only reason you think it's a joke is because you're white and you don't have the same fear I have.
The reason why I find this to be frustrating is because the people that are fucking stealing Louis Vuitton bags aren't exclusively the white anarchists or whatever the fuck. And most of the time, the people that are going to be receiving the brutality are going to be black people disproportionately. right?
You don't love
and I've
the
said
spirit
this,
of
like,
justice.
I've said this since
You
day
love
one,
your father,
that
the
it is
devil.
literally counterproductive to single out white anarchists because cops are not singling out white anarchists. As a matter of fact, what they're fucking doing is using white anarchists as a justification to clap your fucking cheeks, okay? And more often than not, the ones in the crosshairs are going to be the scary black people, which is precisely why I think that this is a unhelpful way of talking about the issue. You, without realizing it, are giving more leeway to the people that want to oppress you. Having said that, though, like I have mentioned time and time again, that of course the people that are protesting, specifically police brutality, specifically Black Lives Matter, or the disproportionate harm that police causes on black people, those people have every right to be like, you shouldn't protest this way. They're literally there. Isn't that her take too? I'm confused. No, she's just saying that, like, when black people are burning shit, it's not your place to do it. White anarchists, you should be there just to protect us or whatever. But like, it's shirking responsibility away, or it's basically saying that, like, it's the white anarchists. It's the common narrative, the common meme that, like, it's the white anarchists that are responsible for the overwhelming majority of the harm that's being done on federal property or whatever. When the real conversation to be having is, who the fuck gives a shit about a federal courthouse? Listen to our goddamn demands about defunding the fucking police and stop beating the shit out of people. That's the real conversation to be having over and over and over and over again, rather than trying to fucking criticize all the other dumbasses there, because you can't control the dumbasses. It's a fucking protest. It's not organized. There is no leader. Partially, the real reason why there's no leader is because, especially the black leaders that stand up and organize these sorts of causes, if they don't get immediately co-opted by capital owners like DeRay and start cutting deals with Verizon and shit, they get fucking killed. I wish we could have more organized movements in this country, but if we did, the FBI fucking kills you, okay? They either buy you out or they fucking kill you.
Justice. You love your father, the devil.
Hassle.
What's the last part about DeRay? Oh, I just said he got a Verizon deal. The narrative blaming white anarchists is also raising actual black and indigenous anarchists who are doing lots of the work on the ground. That too, but
You don't want to kill Mexican babies? You're a racist!
funny how you use the word anarchist. Sounds like you have lots of hate towards them, as if those white idiots from the USA in this video are the real anarchists instead of correcting it. But you cry and mauled a lot when people use communists or leftists wrong. Wait, what? You think I hate anarchists? Just because I fucking make memes about anarchists doesn't mean I hate anarchists. There's plenty of anarchists in my community too. I mean, I joke about tankies and Marxist-Leninists all the fucking time too. When I do that, they get mad, they cry about it, but then they still come back.